When I was learning to swim, I was convinced that I have to keep my head above the surface of the water all the time. I had this strange idea that if I keep my head up, it will keep me alive. And it wasn't until much later when I watched several YouTube swimming tutorials when I realized that keeping your face underwater requires much less effort. It helps to swim faster and further and allows for lower heart rate and therefore calmer swimming experience. If you look around the public swimming pools, you will see majority of population swim with their head out of the water, which in itself is not such a bad thing, but it creates an impression that this is the easiest way to swim for beginners. However, if you examine what is happening underwater, you'll understand that anytime you pop your head above the surface, your legs want to counterbalance the body and begin sinking. That in return creates drag, which makes it harder for you to move forward, slows you down, or depletes your energy completely. What you must do instead is to keep your face under the surface of the water. That will counterbalance your body in the opposite direction and lift your hips and legs up, making swimming effortless. Sounds counterintuitive, but your face needs to remain under the water for as long as possible. And if you observe professional swimmers, you will notice that their face and body spends more time underwater than over the water. In this video, I will show you how to submerge your face underwater and which breathing techniques will allow you to experiment, play, and dive freely under the surface of the water. Most of all, learning this will unlock you to learn swimming with confidence and truly enjoy your time in the swimming pool. Let's dive right in. You want to practice this in the shallow end with water no higher than up to your chest. You begin by bending your knees and lowering your face underwater whilst continuously exhaling air out through your nose. You inhale quickly using your mouth when your face is above the surface and lower yourself back down, exhaling again underwater. You're in control of how long you stay under the surface and how gradual this exhale will be. During a swim, depending on which stroke you choose, the intervals between each breath will be shorter. However, if you practice this technique long enough, you will be able to exhale the air anywhere from 5 to 20 seconds at a time. I generally like to exhale for at least 5 to 10 seconds because it's similar to meditation breathing and it lowers my heart rate significantly. It basically calms me down, so I recommend you to practice the skill of gradual exhalation with your nose. Since you are in control, you decide the strength with which you expel the air through your mouth. When you come back up, you don't have to lift your chin too high above the surface of the water. When you practice this, you'll learn that the higher you lift your head, the lower your legs will sink. If you're questioning if this can be done without standing firmly on the ground, watch till the end of this video. In the meantime, practice this until it becomes your second nature and you relax to the point of not having to even think about it. Once that happens, you'll be able to focus on your body buoyancy and how easy it is to float, beginning with your arms and then legs. When you begin practicing swimming using this technique, make sure you pop out that head up for a very short amount of time to take a breath. As you can see here, I'm trying to get the next breath as quickly as possible and practice this so that when I am swimming, it doesn't take me too long to take the next breath. When you're lifting that head, as soon as your mouth clears the surface of the water, you want to have enough space in your lungs to get the next breath, but you don't want your lungs completely empty. Empty lungs will cause you to sink lower and therefore require more effort to lift that head up for the next breath. That's why I want you to learn how to extend the amount of time you can spend underwater so that you don't feel desperate when you lift your head to breathe. If you're afraid of swallowing water with your mouth, I recommend practicing something called crocodile breathing. You can do that by keeping your mouth exactly on the surface of the water and opening it without breathing in. It may feel weird at the beginning, but you can get accustomed to water being around and in your mouth. Then you can either spit it out or blow bubbles with your mouth to get it out of the way too. When you're learning to swim, you will notice that water getting into your mouth is something normal, and you just need to learn how to handle it, manipulate this water in your mouth, and then eventually expel it. As you can see here, I'm so used to the water in my mouth that it doesn't bother me in any way. Make sure you practice all these exercises in a swimming pool with a lifeguard nearby, just in case. Going back to submerging under the water. Once you learn and become comfortable with having your face under the surface for a prolonged period of time, you can begin to practice moving your arms and walking around the swimming pool. You can finally set free and explore, keeping your face underwater, getting a breath from time to time, and continuing your exploration. You will notice that under the surface of the water, it is extremely peaceful and quiet. The only thing that you'll hear is the bubbling of the water and your own thoughts. It's an enjoyable and pleasant environment, the underwater. And when you feel comfortable, you can start playing by practicing different movements and trying what happens when you move your arms in any given direction. You can try to lie down on your back or on your front. Lift your arms and feel how buoyant your body is. You can practice how buoyancy changes depending on how much air you have in your lungs. You can practice different types of floating and dive to the bottom of the pool like a kid. Just a word of warning, remember to practice standing up if you find it hard to balance in the water. If you're trying to float on your front, swing those arms backwards and bring your knees to the chest whilst lifting your head up. Or the opposite if you're on your back. If it's too early for you to try floating, hold on to the side of the pool and keep your face under the surface of the water, whilst allowing the rest of your body to float freely. Again, let yourself experiment whilst keeping your head under the surface of the water. Once again, your face in the water will allow your legs and hips to raise to the top and glide through the swimming pool swiftly. You can practice and practice until you're ready for the final exercise, where you can swim the whole length of the swimming pool without stopping. As you can see here, I push myself off the wall, keeping my head under the surface of the water. Using a breaststroke kick, whilst holding my camera, I'm continuously expelling the air using only one arm to pull myself a little bit forward. I lift my head up for a quick breath and I continue swimming again, using only one arm until I reach to the end of the swimming pool. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you effortlessly swim underwater for however long you want.